Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're comparing the darling of the Weller line to a more readily available bottle. So big shout out to my buddy Chris Jacinto. Thank you, sir. He loaned me this bad boy right here. His Weller foolproof bottle. Nearly new for that matter of fact. He thought, maybe wrongly, that I wouldn't drink all of it on camera. So if you don't know, Weller foolproof is foolproof, meaning it's bottled at its barrel entry proof of 114 proof. Compute 57% alcohol by volume. You know, a gorgeous bottle, but I did fault this, and I will link it above. I did a video on the Antique Weller 107. The seams on these bottles are ungodly. Ungodly, like dimply, and just, they could do better. Other than that, you know, nice cork. And, you know, it doesn't say much on here except William LaRue Weller developed his original bourbon recipe with wheat rather than rye, giving his bourbon a softer and smoother taste. Bottled at 114 proof, this bourbon forgoes chill filtration, leaving behind all the naturally occurring oils from the aging process and preserving the full flavor of the bourbon. A whiskey that satisfies the demand of the whiskey enthusiast. This is like essential oils for men. That's what it's telling me. Essential oils for men are in this bottle right here. Very hard to get these. MSRP is like $50-$60 on this. I believe he got it at MSRP, but some people are paying outrageous prices for this. So we're going to compare this tonight to a few things. My Antique Weller 107 store pick, and if you watch Bourbon Advent Calendar, somewhere in there was a Weller foolproof store pick. So we're doing store pick versus shelfer, and then we'll compare it to Antique 107. Just for you lucky guests. All right, I got my Weller foolproof right here. Color medium. You know, thought it'd be better than that. God, the nose on this though is right up my alley. It's just, whew, is it good? I get like just that medicinal cherry that I get on Buffalo Trace. The sweet oak profile. It's a faint hint of that wheater funk, but it's not as pronounced as like some Maker's Marks. Very sweet overall, just like a very desserty profile on the nose. God, this smells fantastic. Let's take a sip. That's delicious. It really is. Wow. What I said for the nose comes through in the palate. Just that medicinal cherry, good mouthfeel, good heat at 114 feels right. Lots of sweetness, that sweet oak, just like the good sweet wheat flavor, and it is smooth on the palate. It kind of, you know what it kind of tastes to me? It tastes a little bit like if Eagle Rare was a wheater. Kind of tastes like Eagle Rare at a higher proof. I know that's stupid to say, but the Buffalo Trace line to me all tastes pretty similar, but this drink's a little more special. Let's take one more. Oh, that's killer. If you can get that for MSRP, A+ from Bourbon Bill. That's delicious. Really is. Now, that's the shelfer. Brantley, thank you again, sir, for your contribution to the Bourbon Advent Calendar. And we're going to pour up his Weller foolproof store pick here. And just see if we like that better, or you know, how that compares. Get that a little nosing here for you. Oh, okay. A lot more stone fruit on this one here. A lot more stone fruit coming through. I get the cherry, but there's an extra dimension on it of the added stone fruit that I didn't really get in the shelf version. Let's take a sip. Store pick's better. Store pick is better. Store, you know, shelf for here, store pick's like right here. Just the extra dimension of the stone fruit has a little bit more oak to it, and actually is a little bit drier, but it's really good. The store pick's better. You can find a store pick, you know, pay 10, 20 bucks more for a store pick. It's not massively better, but it is marginally better, which is the same thing we found out in the Antique 107 store pick versus shelfer video. So here's my bottle of Weller Antique 107 store pick, a special fine wine and good spirits pick, barrel number 74. Coming in at, you guessed it, 107 proof. Compute 53.5% alcohol by volume. So these aren't easy to get either, which is the truth. But you can generally get this easier than you can get a full proof, and it'll cost you less to get one of these. So at only 7 proof points lower, is it worse? Let's find out. Ooh, I don't know. Gosh, I mean, the store pick was better. Gonna have to do a little back and forth here. This is the full proof. This is the Antique 107 store pick. The Antique 107's got like this layer of like strawberry and cream note going on that I'm digging. It's got oak too. It's like, do you like strawberries or do you like cherries more? That's kind of the difference here. Let's try the Antique 107. This is a strawberries and cream bomb with some caramel, a little bit of oak. There's a hint of cherry too, but this is more strawberries and cream. This store pick's phenomenal, I will say. I don't know. My Antique 107 might edge out the foolproof shelfer. Well, I don't know. I think I actually prefer the Antique 107 store pick to the shelf foolproof. Pretty close. I mean, we're splitting hairs. I could go either way on a different day. But that same one from Brantley of the store pick foolproof is my favorite of the three. So, you know, if you're comparing shelfer to shelfer, the foolproof's probably a little bit better, but it's certainly not worth double or, you know, whatever you got to pay to get it. It's so much harder to get the foolproof than an Antique 107. I don't know. I think I'd be going after the store picks if possible, which I know are also hard to get. But I think the moral of this story is, although the foolproof is delicious and A+ rated, so is the Antique 107, and I'm not sure the 7 proof points really makes a big enough difference to matter. Now, we wouldn't end it there because this is Bourbon Bill's channel where we always give you a little bit more. That's right. Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series 2022 BRT-02 has just entered the chat. This delicious bad boy comes in at 109.4 proof, compute, 54.7% alcohol by volume. $65 MSRP here in PA, or more to be more exact, $64.99 a bottle. Now look, these are not available every day at every store. These are limited, but you can find this easier than you can find any one of those, at least in PA. So, I'm trying to compare kind of dollar-wise apples to apples because, you know, there's regular Maker's Mark store picks that are available more often, and they can be really good too. But if you've managed to land one of these, should you be hunting one of the Wellers? Let me grab a Glencairn here. Oh, man. You know, a little bit darker here on the BRT-02, which was finished in French oak staves, for those wondering. Let's give it a sniff. Holy peaches and moly. This is a very stone fruity nose. Tons of just French oak flavor, followed by like peaches. Less oak overall, but a very desserty sweet nose. Different, but not worse. Let's take a sip. You know what? The BRT-02 hangs with both. It really does. It's actually thicker on the mouthfeel. Delicious French oak flavors. A lot of that, I got like a lot of peach on it. Stone fruit now that's opened up. Delicious. If you can find one of these BRT-02s, and you can't find a Weller, don't cry yourself to sleep at night. You're going to be okay. While different in their flavor profiles, the Wellers are not necessarily better. So I just gotta say that. If you really prefer a Buffalo Trace profile, if you like that cherry, that strawberry, that very heavy red fruit and very sweet profile, then you will obviously prefer the Wellers. But if you can get by with a delicious wheater that's different, maybe more stone fruity, the BRT-02 would work for you. I gotta say, either of the special releases from Makers this year are probably a little bit better than the Wellers, if we're being honest. And again, they're different profiles, but for 65 bucks, and generally, I can't get that cork back. And generally, these are more available. So I don't know. You don't feel like you have to hunt the Wellers, I guess is my main point of this video. Although they are very good. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Have a great evening, everybody.